Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Crisis Technology Center. We are now having our second Tech Talk of our lunch period, and this one is from PowerUp with Ryan Doak. He's going to be talking about mobile charging in disaster zones. So thank you so much, Ryan, for being here.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the Crisis Center for allowing me to come in and present our innovative solutions for charging mobile devices in the state of an emergency. So my name again is Ryan Doak. I'm with PowerUp, one of the co-founders, and probably what most of you have found is that none of these disasters have a tendency to happen at a convenient time. And so what we typically find is being the situation is the disaster happens, you get the phone call or you get the knock on the door at 2 a.m., you grab your laptop, your pet, your loved ones, and out the door you go, and you end up in a shelter, shortly to find out that you did not remember to bring your charging cable, and now we cannot communicate with those that we want to be in touch with. This is definitely a problem. And I don't know about you guys, but I haven't memorized a phone number since about 1990. So for me to be actually be able to reach out and talk to anybody is pretty much not going to happen. So I know my grandmother's phone number. Unfortunately, she's been gone for a while. And I know my parents' phone number and my wife. That's about it. But as far as getting a hold of my kids, I have no idea. So definitely need to have your cell phone on you and have it operating. When you end up at the shelter or some other kind of location, this is typically what you find. People have a tendency to become very resourceful when they don't have a way to charge their device. They grab power strips, they go to any means possible to recharge their phones or tablets and their laptops. The problem with this type of solution is it creates a lot of stress on top of an already very stressful situation that you're going through. So what we have done is we've come up with some innovative ways of charging devices. The problem with yesterday's solution is it's not only not safe, it doesn't look pretty. You know, so you're out there and you've got power strips that are plugged in. And the problem with a power strip is you typically have 15 amps on a power strip. And you have 6 places to plug in different pieces of equipment. So whether that's phones or tablets, usually that 6th plug ends up getting another power strip. And then the next 6th plug gets another power strip. Well, these units are only rated for 15 amps, which creates a very dangerous situation where people can be shocked, fires can be started, and not to mention your phones and your devices don't charge efficiently. And so you may see that your phone's charging up, but as soon as you pull it off the charger, that charge very rapidly depletes and you're back to 10-15% because you don't get a good quality charge. Some of today's solutions look a lot better, are a lot safer. What we have found is that, like the charging table that we have here in the booth today, all of the charging components are concealed and are certified by UL standards, so that when you do plug into this, you're going to get an effective charge. There's branding opportunities, and there's multiple ways that you can charge your device. Also incorporated in all of our charging is the cables. We had mentioned earlier that when you show up, you don't have your charging cable, and so there's not a way to actually charge it, even if you did find an outlet. And so we provide all the charging cables. Some of the other things that you need to take a look at is what other ways are there to charge. So you've got USB, you have the integrated cable, we also have AC outlets that will allow you to charge your devices. The problem is when you get there and the power grid's down, how do you power the charging? So we would recommend that whatever power solution that you come up with, that there's a backup battery. This particular system has a lithium-ion battery that's built into the base of the unit and will charge devices for up to 16 hours. If the battery should happen to fail, you can then plug in solar. Most of our equipment will ship with a solar panel if requested, and so you can now continually charge devices for a long period of time. And obviously you can also plug into a backup generator. LED lighting for nighttime. We have found that in a lot of cases the lighting is dim. You can't actually see if you're plugging in the cable, and you can't tell without looking at your phone if you've actually received any charge. You'll notice on the table in front of me here, all of the charging cables are different colors. The blue ones are available, the red ones are currently charging. When the red switches to blue, it'll indicate that the device is fully charged. It's a nice comfort level, and it allows you to kind of see what the stage of your charge is. We'll talk about quality construction. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. We talk about quality construction for the charging. A lot of times when you end up in these situations, it's a cardboard or a plywood table on a bunch of sawhorses, or it's a table pulled out of a back closet. Everything that we do is made out of steel and is powder coated, and it's going to stand up to the environment that it's placed in. So in addition to phones, we also find that the ability to charge gaming systems for kids is highly important. It keeps them entertained and occupied. Also, wheelchairs. Electric wheelchairs have been something of interest, where they've gotten to the resource center or the shelter and they're running low on battery in their electric wheelchair. We can also charge those types of devices. So it's something to take into consideration when you're looking at an option. On our charging trailer that I showed you a picture of a minute ago, it's important to know that the information that's being presented on that should also be presented through a USB stick rather than an internet connection. So a little bit more about the charging trailer. Everything is marine grade, and so the screens are weatherproof. They can be doused with water, dust, in a variety of different types of environments. On the outside, all of the circuitry is marine grade and is protected by a fuse. So if somebody should happen to overload one of the systems, it doesn't shut the entire system down. It will fall over to the next thing, and you can just continue to use other cables within the unit. Also integrated into the charging trailer is LED lighting, so you can see it creates an environment. The information that's being displayed on the screens, a lot of times people will try and use a digital signage software that's requiring 4G or internet. We recommend that you use a USB thumb drive to copy the material onto and then plug it in and do it that way. Our trailers can also be equipped with satellite television, and so you can bring in a live broadcast to communicate weather or other activities. We talked a little bit about the charging trailer, the charging table. It has multiple outlets. It also has 6 USB ports. So if you do have your own cable, you can plug into it. And then there's 9 charging cables. In the top of the table, there is inductive charging, so you can just sit your phone on top and it will automatically start to charge. And then the battery that's built into it will last for up to 16 hours to charge multiple devices. Lastly is a secure charging solution. We've gotten a lot of demand for a locker where people can lock up and secure their devices, set up a 4-digit PIN, and walk away and go tend to other things that need to be taken care of. In addition to a 4-digit PIN, the locks can be swapped out for an RFID technology. We manufacture a bracelet that has an RFID chip embedded into it, and that bracelet can be branded with your company name or a logo. And so when the bracelet is touched against the lock will either lock or unlock, and it is only operable through that wristband. So once you set the code, you have to use the same wristband to unlock it. If somebody was to happen to disappear and not come back for it, there is a master key that so you can use that to retrieve your devices. The lockers also incorporate a screen so you can put up other information that people may want to know about, whether it's weather or what's going on in the disaster. So with that, I'm open to questions. I'll be here in this booth for the rest of the conference. So if you have anything, feel free.
Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us, and thank you so much for being a booth sponsor and providing the table for folks to use. As a reminder to those who haven't hung out at the Crisis Tech Center yet, we are a location that we want you to come hang out at. Come sit on our couch, come have a conversation, bring your drink. The bar is right next door at night, so we're in really excellent placement. And feel free to come charge your phone. We'll also have all sorts of toys. We are 3D printing over here in the corner. If you've never seen that actually happen live, it's pretty fun. We have virtual reality goggles over here. If you want to see that, it's pretty neat. And we also have a lot of tech experts who can talk about everything from UAVs, and drones to social media monitoring and so on. So, our next talk is going to be at 2:20 p.m. right here, same place, same day. Big data, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, emerging capabilities for emergency management with Greg Brunel from One Concern. So if you heard about the cool One Concern technology this morning at the think tank session and want to learn more, he's going to be actually displaying what it does. It's pretty neat. So please come and join us again then. Thank you so much.